Up, come and join the team.
And good morning, everybody. This is Marshall Pitts.
Module Pitts.
And Myron Pitts, who's on his way, and we are
MP3. We can't verify that, though.
Well, we'll see how it goes. See how it goes. All right. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Marshall.
You want me to sit over there in that seat to give that seat some
validity? I want you to stop interrupting me right now. That's the first thing. Let's start there.
Maybe we can get something out of that seat.
Well, thank everybody for tuning in to your trio of talk radio with Marshall, Nigel, and Myron. Always appreciate everybody that tunes into the show. We really appreciate that. Often when we go places, you'll run into folks who say, "Yeah, I listen to you guys on the radio." So always good to know that, and that people are tuning in and listening in, and we're imparting knowledge that we have to the community.
We're doing what we can.
Don't you agree?
But we're doing what we can.
Okay, well, that's doing something.
Good or bad, we're doing what we can.
Okay. Well, we want to thank everybody, and also our participating stations who always make MP3 possible in Lumberton, Laurinburg, and I'm just drawing a blank right now, but it is always a pleasure to have you around. But let's get started for today.
Where's your list at? You used to have a list.
Yeah. I wanted to say their number to call in as well. Like I said, you're going to continue to interrupt, but 910-483-6111. 910-483-6111 if you want to call in and listen to our show, and also to give your viewpoint about what we're talking about. We always welcome that. So let's look at the list for today. First of all, did your week go okay, MP2?
Oh, it went all right, man.
Yeah, bro, you look pretty good in your East Carolina purple.
Yeah.
You don't wear it that much, though.
No, not too often, because everybody knows it when you wear purple. If you wear blue or black or gray,
right.
No matter what it looks like or what it says, no one's ever really gonna remember. But when you wear purple,
yeah, it stands out.
Then you got so you trying to single-handedly bring the Converse back.
No,
those Converses.
These throwback. Yeah, they're very comfortable too, man. Very. I got them on a whim, saying, I don't know if these are gonna do right on my feet, but they're extremely comfortable. And
they've got that going for them at least.
Yeah. I didn't buy them necessarily for the looks per se.
I should hope not. Nah, those look pretty good, man. They look pretty good. You always nattily clad.
Yeah.
Blued out today.
Yeah. So.
That's Duke blue, as a matter of fact.
Is it?
Like Duke blue.
Okay. Well, didn't mean to do that, but that's okay.
Oh, I know why Myron's late. He's late because Carolina failed last night. He's still crying. Oh, here he is now.
Yeah.
He's still crying his milk about that.
Is that it for Hubert, you think?
No. It wasn't a good loss, but the team made a good comeback there.
They played a very good team.
Just fell short.
Yeah,
Clemson's a good team.
Yeah, Clemson's a good team.
Right.
They were
We beat them a couple weeks ago.
They were a 4 and 5 seed.
4 and 5 seed.
So
playing.
and then Clemson, Clemson had lost one more game than
That's
Carolina had won.
Yeah, we had beat Clemson in the last time we matched up. So it was a good game. Well, I just feel like the team. You asked about Hubert Davis. His teams have a habit of falling behind needlessly, in my opinion. And
they have to play catch up.
The problem with that, play catch up. It's hard against a good team. It's hard to catch up, and they were hitting their free throws. So,
and particularly when you're playing without your best player.
Yeah.
So
that's right. The one with the
he's sidelined. He's done. He's pretty much done at UNC.
He's going. He said he's going to go to the pros.
Yeah.
Right.
So the ACC tournament is going on, and so I think they got the semifinals.
It's a good tournament. Yeah.
Semifinals today and the finals tomorrow. Is going to be a wide open. The NCAA tournament. It's going to be a great one this year.
Did Duke lose one of their players too? The injury?
They sure did. They're a big man.
Yeah.
And I can't think of his name. I can't pronounce his name. Right. But he's out for the season as well. And I think that could eventually catch up with the Blue Devils, because if they have problems with a big mobile guy, like when Caleb Wilson Like when we beat them in Chapel Hill, we had Caleb Wilson then. So I just think that they'll have trouble with that. But Duke's going to be a 1 seed. They locked that up a week or so ago. And we'll see. They got a good squad, really a great squad.
This could be a year where I could easily see this year in the NCAA tournament. This could be a year where none of the 1 seeds make the Final Four. I could easily see that.
I can see that, yeah.
Because the number 1 seeds, even though, like I said, Duke's got a good team, they got some other good teams out there, and they've only lost 2 or 3 games, but they hadn't been dominant.
Yeah.
There's not no one where you can say, you look at this team and they're just running over people.
Yeah.
I mean, even Duke's win.
Duke's been running over people until yesterday. They had a heck of a time trying to beat Florida State.
That's what I mean. It matters now. But it matters now.
But in the run up to that, they've been knocking out everybody, including UNC, by double digits. So
it matters now, though. That's what I'm saying. When the pressure get on, that's why I like the NCAA tournament. It's one and done. It's not like the NBA.
It's fun. It's fun stuff.
Best of 7 and all that kind of stuff. It's one and done.
In other words, playing to the best team. The best team actually wins in the pros.
Oh yeah.
That's correct.
Most of the time.
Right. It takes the drama out.
It's hard to beat a team 4 out of 7 times if you're not better than they are.
Right.
It's hard to beat a team 4 out of 7 times.
That's true.
Well, one game, anybody can win one game. They can get hot and win one game.
I mean, a classic example is the Miracle on Ice in 1980. There was no way the U.S. is going to beat that Russian team 4 out of 7 or 3 out of 5 times.
Right. Or 2 out of 3.
Or 2 out of 3. Nothing out of nothing. They won the one game they played. They won the one game they played. That's why they call it the Miracle on Ice. Right. And there's a litany of games where teams beat in the NCAA. You got Georgetown. You got NC State. You got all those teams. I mean, UConn. And then you got NC State. And then you got
Georgetown beat Villanova 3 times.
Villanova, that's what I'm
lost
saying.
In the championship.
Villanova beat them 3 times, and you got North Carolina State. They beat Phi-Slama. They beat Akeem and all of them.
Yeah.
They can never beat that team 4 out of 7 times, but they beat them that time, which is when it matters.
Which is all that matters. Right. That's right.
So Deuce, we hadn't yet gotten to the lineup. So
full lineup. Y'all been doing a lot of chattering.
Your brother.
I'm trying to get your older brother on task. You know how it is. It's a struggle sometimes. He came in eating popcorn and all that kind of stuff.
So I'm an entertainment guy, and it's a big weekend, Oscar weekend. Why it's particularly of note for the African American community is that Sinners, directed by Michael B. Jordan, and also starring him, Michael B. Jordan. But it's up for the most Oscar nominations in history, and so it's coming down between that and another movie. And this is Michael B. Jordan is African American. The cast is mostly African American, so it could be an historic weekend for African American actors and directors, or it could be another disappointing weekend. You know how the Oscars can go, so we will see.
I'm leaning to the disappointing.
Well, it's up against a film that gives. I would say this: it's up against another top-rated film that some people think will beat it out in some of the key categories. Then we're going to talk about,
including the 3 of us.
Yeah. Then we're going to talk about. You maybe remember Doge. This was Elon Musk's group, Tesla founder, who ran this group that was supposedly to cut government waste. So the figures have come out. They didn't cut any waste. In fact, the deficit is as highest than it's ever been in history.
And they were supposed to focus on DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion.
And so now some testimonies coming out from a lawsuit against Doge, and they're interviewing some of these staffers who were on this Department of Government Efficiency. And these are these young guys in their 20s, some of them just out of college or not long out of college, and how what they were using to cut these critical government programs, basically search terms like DEI. They just put that in there and then cut it if it had that term. So we'll talk a little bit about that. I think people suspected that, but to see it confirmed is quite jarring.
The only difference is most Americans, probably I would say 85, 90%, don't really know what DEI means.
Like all white people.
Right.
And that's part of our story when we get to it, including some of these Doge staffers.
But if you're in charge of
you should know.
ferreting out DEI, you should know what it is.
Or you should at least try to find out.
You at least try to find out, right.
You at least try to find out, even if you don't know.
And so the other thing is kind of more concerning news out of the Iranian war. There is a war, of course, we talked about a little bit last week. We had some more soldiers die, this time in a refueling plane plane accident. At least 4 dead, maybe as many as 6 once they figure out everything. And in the meantime, Iran has cut off a key strait body of water where a lot of the shipping goes through. So that's going to drive prices up. And Iranian's new leader, supreme leader, who is the son of the one the U.S. and Israel killed, sounds about the same. So I'm not sure what we're supposed to be gaining in this war. And then last, but certainly not least, the Save America Act. It's the thing that Trump keeps pushing, and some Republicans, but not all, but some are really pushing this thing. It's passed the House. It's hung up in the Senate. It's mistakenly called the voter ID bill, but what it actually will require is for people to prove their citizenship. I mean, they have to have in North Carolina, they have to have a birth certificate or a passport to show us. So we'll talk about that particular law, which people say will disenfranchise millions. So, Sinners, have y'all seen it?
Yes.
What did you think?
Oh, you did see it finally.
No, I hadn't seen it.
Oh, you still haven't seen it? We talked about this like 2 months ago.
What's going on here?
We talked about this 2 months ago.
A lot of people are supposed to be seeing this.
Yeah, once y'all start talking about vampires, that's just not my.
Okay, just not your thing. Genre.
Yeah, it's not my thing.
Don't like it. Now, I am not into.
I'm
What
not
you
a big
think,
vampire guy either, but I liked it.
It's
I liked
more.
it.
Yeah.
I told you I was not. It was a good movie. I could tell it was a good movie.
Yeah.
But I'm not into the vampires either. So.
That's one vote against Sinners. What you got?
Unfortunately, and I want to say this: our opinion on this is not representative because this movie, the critics love it.
Right.
Absolutely love it.
Do they like it better than One Battle
box
After Another?
office success.
Yeah.
But I have a similar opinion to you, MP1. I'm not, and you. I'm really not huge into horror or vampire blood and gore stuff. But I thought it was extremely well acted movie.
Very unique.
It was very unique.
Okay,
I love
I'll get y'all on record right now. So now,
well, let me finish. I love the scene setting because it was it's set in sort of the juke joints back in what era was that, Marshall? It would have been pre-Jim. I mean.
Right.
Yeah,
before the
pre-Jim Crow.
1960s,
Right.
so it was early.
30s, 40s, 50s, somewhere in there.
1920s, 30s, somewhere in there.
And it was essentially kind of had all the best aspects of what you would call a buddy film, because there's two guys who are trying to get a juke joint going, and then it turns out being beset by these vampires, and then it turns into more of what I would consider a traditional kind of horror movie, and that's just not my thing. But that said, the critics really do love it. Now, you were going to ask, will they love it more than
No. What I was going to ask, you seen One Battle After Another?
I have seen One Battle After Another. You've seen that too,
Yes.
right?
Which one did y'all like the best? Case closed. That's what.
We didn't answer.
That's what
We did not answer. Don't make assumptions.
The hesitation was all I needed. Because if you would have thought Sinners was the best, or you would have said that right off the bat. You had to think about it.
But see, that's the thing. Sinners,
Different type of movie,
it's
too.
a different type of movie.
Yeah, whole
you
different
know,
type.
if I were more into the genre, now see, my daughter, if she would probably like a Sinners more. She hasn't seen it yet. But she likes that genre. She likes the blood and gore and that type of stuff. So I'm sure she would say that. But One Battle for Another was about it's about this revolutionary movement, and some incidents happen, and then they follow.
That's more political.
It's more political.
So
that's more
the reason why
explicitly political.
I can see why you and Mark probably like that a little
So,
bit better. Okay,
and then
I
it follows like the life of one of those former revolutionaries as he's pieced together a different life, and then his past comes back to haunt him in terms of that.
so now this is the reason why
both very good movies.
This is the reason why I think One Battle After Another is going to take. Not because I hadn't seen either one, so it's not because I think it's going to be better or worse than when it's close. When it's close, when it's tight like this, then it usually goes to someone else other than the African Americans.
I know
because it can be justified.
It does.
It can be justified. You think about the African American times that they won. Best actor. You think about Denzel. It wasn't close that year. Denzel from Training Day. That Denzel he metamorphosed into something.
Yeah.
He wasn't the good guy. He was the bad guy.
Yeah.
All the way, and no one had ever seen that before.
Yeah.
From him. So that's the reason why he won that. One of the reasons why he won that year. So if you think about if it's tight, if it's close, I think at this point, and I'm hoping that I'm wrong, because again I hadn't seen either one. but I'm hoping that I'm wrong. I'm thinking that they're not going to win Best Picture. Sinners is not going to win Best Picture, and Michael B. Jordan
won't win Best Actor.
Won't win Best Actor. So and
But I think Sinners will take away some awards.
Oh yeah. Cinematography and stuff like that. So you know how that works because the special effects and
Costumes.
So now you brought up a great point though, Byron. You brought up a very good point. So why don't they have different? Why do they put all movies together against each other? Because One Battle After Another is a totally different movie from
right.
Sinners.
Right.
And the Oscars.
Do they split it up into horrors? Or
No, they
just
don't.
one big...
Some award shows do. The Oscars does not. It's just a long-standing tradition. That would be my only answer to that. It came to a head the year, which another movie I like called The Dark Knight, the second of the Batman trilogy. And that same year, Wall-E, which is an animated film, that's probably one of the best ever, came out. And so,
what was the name of the animated film?
Wall-E is about.
Wall-E.
I'm sure you've seen it, right? Especially with the age.
Have you seen that, Miles?
There's no need for me to have seen that.
It's a great movie. But those movies
don't need me to sit. I've got no kids.
Those movies were snubbed the year they came out, and that led to the very discussion you're bringing up now. A lot of Oscar voters just are not going to put an animated film there, and they're certainly not going to put a superhero film. And even comedies don't typically wind up in Oscar talk. So I should say both Sinners and One Battle After Another do have comic elements, but they're not comedies by any stretch. Right. So that caused the Oscar to expand the field. It used to just be 5 films, period. Now they have a little bit flexibility because it's recognizing why can't we have something besides a drama that's actually up for the Oscar.
So one of the movies that
it's a long-standing question.
One of the movies that won some awards was Black Panther.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What did it win? It didn't win Best. I know it didn't win Best Actor.
Yeah.
But did it win? Cinematography.
It won something. Let's look that up because that was probably the last movie that was a black cast, black director that was really in line. I believe 12 Years a Slave.
I think they won for costume and that kind of thing. I believe.
Now you know what? I still believe one of the biggest snubs in Oscar history. Talking about African American.
Malcolm X.
I wouldn't even go further than that. Yes, Malcolm X was one, but Do the Right Thing. That was Spike Lee, 1989.
Did it even get nominated?
And you know what won that year?
What?
Okay, first of all, Do the Right Thing didn't even get nominated
Right, didn't even get
for
nominated.
Best Picture. It won, I think it did actually win cinematography and something else.
Which wasn't that special about that cinematography.
I thought it was actually great cinematography.
But in any case, the room spinning around, I didn't like that.
I like this. And a lot of directors use those techniques. So, Spike Lee's main thing is the dolly technique, where the character is on a rolling cart and they pull them forward. And Malcolm X has a great something like that. And that, of course, has also been copied by a lot of directors. But what won that year, y'all remember what won that year? Driving Miss Daisy.
Oh, yeah.
And so if you want to talk about insulting Spike Lee, who's a militant fella, let's face it, in a good way, that to lose to not only his film getting snubbed, which is about a searing indictment of race relations, but also
Morgan Freeman.
Not just Morgan Freeman, but playing a chauffeur to a white lady. And it is a good movie.
Wait, Morgan Freeman's a good actor.
It is a good movie. Morgan Freeman's a great actor.
Yeah, great actor. I mean, I ain't got no problem with him winning, but Do the Right Thing.
Yeah,
Malcolm X and stuff like that. Spike's never won it.
Spike has never won Best Picture or Best Director, as far as I know. And and Malcolm X, of course, was another historic snub. And that really is the one that a lot of people go to because it's just an historic film. Right. Denzel
was a great actor in it, too.
Great actor,
who
great story.
Year?
I'm not sure what won that year. I'm not 100% sure Malcolm X got nominated that year. And another big historic snub from the past was Lady Sings the Blues, where it did not win Best Picture, and Diana Ross didn't get. She is playing
Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday.
Great movie.
A great movie. I mean, one of the all-time great movies. And
they said she was
so
Billie
we'll see
Holiday
what Sinners
in that
does.
movie.
They
said she
that's
paid
right.
like
That's
Billie
right. A
Holiday
diva
in that
playing
movie.
a past diva. So we'll see. Good luck to Sinners.
It's not going to win.
We'll see.
Well, let's do it. How many people believe on this panel that Sinners will win?
I believe it is going to win. I'm going to go out on a limb.
No, we're talking. Let's talk Best Actor and Best
Picture.
Best Picture. Those two categories.
I believe Sinners is going to win Best Picture. I think it's going to upset, but I don't think Jordan. So Michael B. Jordan is also up against.
Timothy Chalamet.
Yeah, Timothy, right.
For some Marty Supreme, which
Marty Supreme.
Me and Marty were trying to figure out what that was about.
I haven't seen it yet, but that's
what
is it about?
No one else has it.
What is it about?
I don't know.
No one else has it.
I used to be able to tell you all about
10 people in America.
Pre-kids, I used to be able to tell you about every movie that came out.
Right.
But I tell you, one of my co-workers, I'm talking about when she first had kids, and her kids are through college now. She said, I used to tell her, we were talking about the movies. And I was like, oh, yeah, I see about 3 or 4 a week. She's like, if you have kids, that's not going to happen. Yeah. And I was like, oh,
sure
I will
enough.
make time. That's what I told her. Confidently, I will make time. And it turns out she was exactly right. You just don't see as many. Also, when you go to the movies, you want to go with your family. And that's going to be more family-friendly stuff.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that no doubt. That just got to affect. And I know one thing that Sam and Helen Ann have affected is my mixtapes that I used to get from you. I used to get some great mixtapes.
There's a couple things.
I hadn't had a mixtape in 20 years.
There's a couple reasons.
How old is Sam? I ain't had a mixtape.
The last good one he gave was J. Cole.
Yeah, the main thing
He gave you J.
affected,
Cole.
the main thing that affected mixtapes, though,
Cole
was,
about ready to retire.
the main thing that affected mixtapes was the end of CDs. I mean, because I used to make CDs, and when you stream, and I'm streaming everything now, you can send people playlists, but then you don't know if they can play everything on the list if they don't have the premium service. So that's what really hurt my mixtapes. But I used to make them all the time, as you know. So
I used to just come to you. Myra used to just come and give me a mixtape. I never even asked for it. I still listen to some of those mixtapes now.
And yes, kids has an effect on that.
I blame Sarah and Helen Ann and Sam for that.
I'll pass that along if they're not listening. So we'll see what happens with the Oscars nominations. That is Sunday.
No, we didn't get on record, so we want to make sure now. So you're saying they're going to win?
I think it's going to win. I think Sinners is going to win Best Picture. I think Michael B. Jordan is not going to win Best Actor. I love to see
director? What about director? Who's going to win that?
Gosh, that's tough. Oftentimes,
whoever wins Best Picture.
Well, a lot of times they split it especially when they feel like a case like this year. So I could easily see them giving them director to Jordan and picture to
not to Jordan.
To director to Jordan, but picture to One Battle After Another.
No, Michael P. Jordan's the actor.
He's also the director.
He's also the director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's the director too.
I thought the young brother was the director. The one Cougar. Cougar.
Jordan directed it too, I think.
I think the primary.
Let's have a look. See,
the primary guy behind it was the.
Well, we'll look see while we at the break.
We'll look at the break. We'll look at the break.
We have to go to break, and we'll be right back with MP3. Yeah.
This is Pastor M.J. Wade, pastor of Perfected Saints Family Worship Center, Fayetteville, North Carolina, and you are listening to Wake Up.
6 crew members were killed when U.S. refueling aircraft crashed in western Iraq. Election officials say up to 14 Republican overseas and military ballots could be considered in the race that could unseat North Carolina's longtime President pro tem of the Senate, Phil Berger, by Rockingham County Sheriff Sam Page. A recount is likely. Sheriff's offices across North Carolina are fighting a familiar challenge, finding and keeping enough qualified deputies to keep pace with growing communities. After several days of spring-like weather, a sharp drop in temperatures could threaten crops that have already started to bloom across western North Carolina. Duke Energy has reached settlement agreements with officials in North and South Carolina to combine its 2 subsidiaries in the state. Mike Rayleigh, NCI News.
I'm Jamie Monticelli, WIDU Radio News. At about 7 p.m. on March 12th, the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office deputies responded to a shooting in the 4800 block of Back Bay Road in Fayetteville. A preliminary investigation revealed that an adult female victim with a gunshot wound was pronounced deceased at the scene. Her identity is being withheld pending next of kin notification. The circumstances surrounding the shooting remain under investigation by members of the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office Homicide Unit. They say this is not a random incident and there appears to be no threat to the public. If you know anything about the investigation, call the Cumberland County Sheriff's Office at 910-677-5548. Several firefighters completed the Lieutenant Candidate Officer Development Program. That course involves over 60 hours of advanced leadership training, in addition to the hundreds of hours completed through their career development program before being able to test for a lieutenant's position. From WIDU Radio, I'm Jamie Monticelli.
High pressure will continue to build into the area behind the cold front that brought showers and storms yesterday. So it'll be a chillier start to the day and a cool afternoon with lots of sunshine. We'll see warmer temperatures for the weekend. We start with clear skies today and temperatures cold in the mid-30s. Lots of sun for your Friday afternoon. Highs reach to around 60. We'll start in the mid-40s on Saturday, then highs by the afternoon will reach to around 70. I'm meteorologist Grant Skinner in the NCN Weather Center.
God bless. This is Pastor McAllister, and we would love to be able to invite everyone to share tributes to our late Miss Sandy Cookman. We know many of you want to take time to pause to share with them. Therefore, what we're doing here at the WIDU radio station, we're opening up the phone lines starting on March the 9th through the 13th from 1 to 2 p.m., asking you to please call in, share some love, share a tribute to them. Again, Monday through Friday, March the 9th through the 13th from 1 to 2 p.m. Please call into the radio station 910-483-6111 or even stop by to share some love. They would love to hear from you. They want everybody to have an opportunity. So we are opening up the station and the phone lines starting Monday, March the 9th through the 13th, 1 to 2 p.m. Please call in, take a moment to share words of love, compliments, how you felt about this wonderful woman of God, and we know the family will appreciate it. God bless. Please share that word. Love you.
Hey, you looking for your next car? Start at Bryan Honda, 4104 Rayford Road in Fayetteville. At Bryan Honda, we make buying a car simple, stress-free, and affordable. Whether you're searching for a brand new Honda or a quality pre-owned vehicle, we've got a huge selection to fit every lifestyle and every budget. From fuel-efficient Civics and Accords to family-friendly CRVs and Pilots, Bryan Honda has the perfect vehicle waiting for you, and with our friendly, knowledgeable sales team, you'll never feel pressured. Need financing? No problem. Bryan Honda works with multiple lenders to get you approved fast with competitive rates that make sense for you. Plus, our certified service department is here long after the sale, keeping your Honda running strong for years to come. Drive smarter, drive happier, and drive home today from Bryan Honda, 4104 Rayford Road in Fayetteville, or you can visit online, bryanhonda.com. Your road starts here. Nobody beats a Bryan Honda deal. Not now, not ever.
And we are back with Marshall Pitts.
Module Pitts.
And Myron Pitts.
And we are
MP3.
If you're just joining us, we're just trying to wrap up a situation on the Oscar nominations.
You never give your picks.
I never did get my picks. Okay, well,
What do you think?
I'm letting the people know what they're coming back to. We're MP3 is back with Marshall, Module, and Myron, your trio of talk radio. And then I was going to tell them what we just were on the topics of.
I didn't want you to try to weasel out of it. That's what I'm Myron put his picks on record. I think you picked all your picks on record.
Yeah. So I think Centers for Best Picture, I think Best Director is going to go to Paul Thomas Anderson, who is the One Battle After Another director. And Best Actor, I don't know who's going to win it, but for some reason I think it's not going to be Michael B. Jordan. I think they're going to pass over.
Right. I do believe that One Battle will be the victor in the. I don't want One Battle to be the victor, but it will be the victor over Sinners. which I do want to win, then I think the best actor will not be Michael P. Jordan. It will be the guy from the that movie we never heard of.
Marty Almighty.
Marty Almighty.
Marty Supreme.
Yeah.
Marty Supreme.
Yeah, you don't even know the name of the movie.
Marty Supreme. And I think the best director, I do believe, has a chance of going to the best director for Sinners,
Which we confirmed is Ryan Coogler.
Ryan
Coogler. So we will see. I mean,
I do believe he's got a real good shot.
hopefully Sinners will get something.
No, he'll get
I
something.
suspect it'll
we
get
just
something.
don't know what. We just don't know what.
And hopefully it'll be one of the major awards.
What's
So
your
we will
what's
see.
your number?
Senators are going to go 0 for 3 in those categories that y'all talked about. They'll be 0 for 3.
We shall see. We shall see.
They'll be 0 for 3.
The DEI has been and continues to be a target of the Trump administration.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion.
That's right, and they were making all these cuts, cutting really critical government positions. They even had to hire a lot of people back. Department of Government Efficiency, nicknamed Doge, they were the ones doing it. They were identifying it. Cuts that need to be what they felt need to be made, and it turns out now a lot of them are using not a lot of all of them are using Chat GPT, which is AI, punching in search terms like DEI, LGBTQ, probably black, and if they were
black in the category by itself, black.
Or minority.
or women, right, or
Minority.
diversity.
Yeah.
They put it through the AI, and the AI spit back, okay, if they were looking at, say, a program, a federal program, they would put those terms in and then decide to cut the whole program based on that. Now, this is not speculation. These are interviews, and they are on video. So I would recommend people go look just to see how young some of these guys are. And I bring their age not to be ageist. Obviously, there's some young people doing lots of very accomplished things. But when you're talking about a federal program that sometimes involves millions of people, not just the employees, but the
billions of
people who
dollars.
are served by the
Right,
program, sometimes tens of millions of dollars, even billions of dollars, you should not be cutting that program or making severe cuts to that program based on search term.
A search term,
A young person
people who
putting in
have
a
no
search term
institutional
who has no
knowledge.
experience.
Right.
And they asked one of these guys, like, what is your qualifications to even be evaluating this program? And he said, well, he can read. He doesn't have to have the experience. He can read books. And they were like, well, did you read books
No, he
about
did.
it? And he's like, no. So we're talking about people who know nothing about federal programs. Now, typically when you have...
Who are doing the cutting.
Right. And so that's why a lot of it didn't make sense. And that's why they had to hire some critical people back. I remember one of the cuts they were making to the Department of Energy, it was the people who are charged of looking over our nuclear stockpile to make sure everything's okay with that. They cut them and they had to hire them back. And again, the couple of young men they interviewed, they said that they put DEI, that expression, or things like diversity, put it in there and then make cuts based on that.
So you had...
But these guys are no different from the majority of Americans. Bad thing is that they're making decisions about DEI, being ignorant of what DEI is, and
Right.
so a lot of people, and the Trump administration was very successful, has been very successful in villainizing that term.
Yeah.
So most people who don't, when they hear that term, they think it's giving special benefits to black and brown people. That's what most people, when they say DEI, that's what they think of.
Right.
And that the Trump administration has been very, very successful about that. But diversity, equity, and inclusion includes things about gender, things about age. I mean, it's about broadening the net to make sure that everybody of all different, what you look like or what you come from, where you come from, should make a difference in providing you with the things that we need as human beings, as citizens of this United States.
Just like most things American, it is hard to explain. See that explanation,
that was too long.
That explanation that you just gave right then.
Yeah.
Most Americans would find it hard to even listen to that explanation. much less understand it and trying to go not because of stupidity. I mean, it's just they don't want to talk about something like that. So when Trump and President Trump and his minions just say DEI bad, woke bad.
Right.
When someone says someone is woke, to me that means someone is learned.
Aware.
Yeah, they're aware of what's going on around them. But so somehow we've turned woke into a
bad thing.
It's like a curse word.
Right.
Yeah.
In certain circles, and so when and it's easy to say something is bad, but when I try to tell you that something is good, Marsha's explanation for DEI, they don't want to hear that. That takes too much. It takes research.
Right.
It takes somebody to say, you know what? Let me find out. I think President Trump and others put these and must put these people in charge of DOGE because they wanted to not to be aware of what actually DEI means. Because if you start doing some research on it and you start seeing, you might say to yourself, you know what, it's not so bad.
Right.
Well, it's not a bad
why are we
thing.
cutting
What's
this?
wrong with
This is beneficial.
They would rather them stay ignorant when it comes to DEI, so they can continue doing what they were doing.
And these guys were asked, like, what metric did they use to even put the words in ChatGPT, the AI, to decide? And there was an executive order against DEI, the Trump administration put. They say they will follow that exactly. If something looks like it violates that order, cut the program. And so you get these kind of ridiculous and overbroad cuts that we got that really diminish federal government across the board.
And if you want to know,
and again, I agree with you, Mike. I think they did not want people with a sound understanding of DEI involved in this process.
So if you don't want people with a sound understanding involved with DEI, you can say, well, and then we can debate all day long with others, people who don't understand DEI about whether that's important or not.
This is a good official version of what DEI is. Diversity, equity, and inclusion programs or organizational initiatives, which people are not going to listen to that, designed to foster a respectful, fair, and welcoming environment for employees of all backgrounds. That's what DEI is.
Oh, the horrors.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so you don't know what DEI is, and then you start cutting programs and those type of things. That's one thing. That's horrific enough.
Yeah.
You said horrors. But then when you mentioned, Myron, just a few minutes ago about they did some of the same things with the nuclear program.
Yeah.
So you would put someone in charge of a nuclear program who doesn't know what they're doing.
Right.
Who doesn't know what they're looking at. You understand how dangerous?
It's very dangerous.
How dangerous that could be. And then you have to hire people back because you realize, which
is always more expensive.
Why would you not even know? That's the point I'm trying to. Why would you not even know that for someone to look at nuclear stuff, they have to be trained in that, whoever it is.
Yeah.
So even if you're going to get rid of the people that are currently there, you sort of say to yourself, we got to have somebody with some nuclear experience to examine nuclear stuff.
But they weren't going that deep into it. Like Myron said, they were given, say, these are the key factors, the key inputs that you look for. So they weren't doing an in-depth review of these programs, whether it be nuclear, Social Security Administration, or whatever. They're looking at are the terms in there that we're supposed to be looking for?
That's
if
right.
the terms are in there that we're supposed to be looking for, those are the things we're going to cut. That's all they did. That's what they did.
Right.
I understand that with DEI. But what I'm talking about, how could you do the same thing with the nuclear program?
Well, they did the same thing with the Social Security Administration, as Myron pointed out.
FEMA. Emergency management,
That you're talking about affecting the lives of millions and millions of people.
They don't care about that.
And the employees on top. The employees and the people being impacted by these programs.
Yeah.
And it just didn't register with them. Really didn't.
And then the iconic image from that era was Elon Musk was at some Republican event, and he had a chainsaw and posing on stage, prancing around on stage, and the message he was meaning to send is, I'm taking a chainsaw to this waste in federal government. So he's cutting public service employees.
And I remember seeing that image and thinking to myself, boy, ignorance is running amok.
Even he said that was a mistake.
It just absolutely ridiculous.
To that chainsaw.
Yeah.
So anyway, and of course the other thing before we leave this topic, is that you may recall that Doge made a big thing of trying to get the personal data and information of all Americans as part of this process. And
Social
they
Security
succeeded.
numbers, everything about them.
Social Security, everything about all Americans. So, and there's already been very strong indicators that not necessarily bad actors have it, but some members of Doge have it, like all of our personal information. So that could obviously come back to bite us all in the butt. So just really an unfolding disaster, one of many in the Trump administration. The Iranian war, fellows, when are we going to get to the end of this war?
Let's back up to Doge for just a second.
Sure.
We're also not, the fact that this whole situation was taken, it's going to have a lasting impact.
Yes.
When people, because there are a lot of, when you talk about those employees who had the institutional knowledge, who had the expertise, and when they got fired, even if they only brought a small percentage of them back to try to man the ship.
Right.
So all those folks, they're going to be very hesitant about doing anything like this again in the workplace. They're going to look for other. All that talent and expertise is going elsewhere outside of the federal government.
Right.
And they're not coming back.
Yeah.
And then not only those people, but those people who may have been interested at one point in becoming government employees and doing those, being in the FBI or the Department of Justice or whatever,
or the Park Service,
or what have you,
CDC.
They're not going to put their applications in for those types of jobs
under this administration. Or you think it carried forward to the next administration?
Well, it depends on who comes in next.
It depends. Certainly not under this administration.
But certainly for the next 3 or 4 years, which is a huge chunk of time to be losing folks.
Yeah.
Not bringing people on for the next generation kind of thing.
Yeah. So the federal government's going to be in many respects limping along for the next several years.
Yes.
Right. So we got DL holding.
DL, are you there?
DL, what's going on?
Yeah, good morning. Well, I got to touch on your voter thing, but I want to touch on this fraud first.
Sure.
Listen, folks, Dodge. I hadn't heard of nothing out of Elon Musk, but what we do know is facts. We know facts that President Trump lied, State of the Union, when he said it was over $18 billion worth of fraud in Minnesota. No, his Justice Department right now is up to $250 million, and 79 people were charged, and 50 have pled guilty. What we do know is openthebooks.com, nonpartisan website, the DOD wasted $93 billion because they didn't want to turn the money back over to the Treasury because the fiscal year was ending. We know what Kristi Noem did, $200 million. And folks, it's about this. When white Republicans do it, y'all better not complain, but let a black person do what Trump and his administration is doing. So it's not about fraud. It's about painting poor folks as a thorn in the side of America. He's cutting SNAP benefits. So this is nothing about fraud. It's just about power. And one last thing. Remember when you talk about the voter out there, the Save the Act, right now, let's concentrate on right now. Right now, all you need to do to vote is to have an ID and stay in that county for at least 30 days to vote. So we don't want to discourage folks from not going to register that are not registered. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thank
thanks,
you.
Dale.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So yeah, the federal government is not in great shape right now, and that was a deliberate act.
Catchy title, the openthebooks.com.
Yeah, it is. It is a nonpartisan site, and it looks at federal spending. We haven't talked a lot about FEMA, but that has directly affected North Carolina.
Yes, it
because the federal government has taken grants that are not grants, like assistance, aid, disaster aid for Helene and other situations in North Carolina, and held them up. The Attorney General here, Jeff Jackson, has had to fight to get the money that were already owed, including money that affected infrastructure here in Fayetteville. And that's what states and communities across the country are having to do, the fight for money that Congress really has already approved.
And that's to me, that was one of the most cruel things about how they went about this so-called budget cutting. There were programs help people across this country that had already been approved by Congress, had already been funded, money set aside to fund this particular program. The Trump administration came in and just reneged on those funds and stopped those funds from going to these agencies and whatnot.
Which actually, and in many cases, those have been challenged and found to be illegal. But in the meantime, the damage has been done.
Yeah, it's been, had to shutter its doors or do whatever. And so it's one of those situations where the Trump administration is notorious for making decisions that may later be found illegal or that shouldn't be done, but the damage has already been done, and so you can't repair that.
Then you have to go to tariffs, which is the same situation. Months and months after the tariffs pass, the Supreme Court says, "Oh, well, he can't do that." Okay, well now multiple billions of dollars has been spent by businesses. They're supposed to be able to maybe recoup their funds, and then what about the consumers?
Right.
So Costco has said it wants its money back from the tariffs, and now a Costco customer has started a class action because he's saying consumers should get the money from they paid from the illegal tariffs. They were illegal.
Right.
And and just for the interest
Costco might get some money, but the consumer
the Costco shopper is not going to get
Costco got the
that's a safer bet than any Oscar bet. We're not going to see any of that.
Right. Well, they've got the money and they've got the attorneys to fight that and get their money.
Yeah.
But the consumer's not going to get any of that money back.
And so in the interest of time, and DL brought it up too, this Save America Act, I do want to get out information about that because one thing I'm seeing, first of all, it's a federal law. Okay, Save America Act is Congress has passed it, Republican-led Congress narrowly passed it, and the Senate, it doesn't have the 60 votes, and even a couple of Republicans right now oppose passing it. What Trump is trying to do is to force his party to get rid of the filibuster.
Right.
In other words, you don't need 60 votes, just a simple majority to pass it. And you look and what it does, and this is an important distinction, as DL talked about what you need to vote now. In North Carolina, what you need is NID, a valid ID, and you're good. It doesn't even have to be real ID, just your ID is good enough. So, but the Save America Act goes beyond that. I've heard it mischaracterized as a voter ID bill. It is not that.
No.
You would need to prove
U.S. citizenship bill.
And then you're talking a birth certificate or a passport. Now, passports is just prohibitively expensive for a lot of Americans. So that's not even going to be a route. What they're going to have to do under this act.
Both of you guys have a passport, right?
Mine's expired. I haven't renewed it yet. I haven't had
Mine's
one.
current, thank goodness. But I also have a real ID.
I got my birth certificate though.
Yeah.
But
and
you
so
might need your passport.
people will have to get their birth certificate. And you can see how this is going to wind up disenfranchise a lot of voters.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, there's time involved in birth certificates.
Intended goal. It's intended goal.
Well,
depending on some states, there's expense involved for getting your birth certificate.
Oh, my goodness,
the president has even said this will assure us midterms.
Yeah, that's right.
So they're not even trying to pretend that it's about.
Right. So you think about it now. So if you got to have your birth certificate, let's say you had to have your birth certificate. I had to have my birth certificate.
And that's to register, by the way.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I had to have my birth certificate a few years back now.
You got your passport?
Yeah. That's my point. I had to have my birth certificate to get my passport. My birth certificate that I have from Valdosta Hospital where I was born with the little feet on it, that wasn't good enough.
Oh, really?
No, that didn't fly at the passport place. So they needed for me to go. I had to go online. I had to.
Wait a minute now.
That's interesting. Yeah,
go
ahead.
Yeah, little
your
feet
birth certificate
with the little feet on it. No
well,
good.
Why you keep going to the little feet?
I have my cute little feet on it. Little bitty feet on it. It's hard to believe a baby could be that. Both of y'all have had kids, but it's hard to little feet on them. So I had little feet on them. So when I went to the passport office, she looked at, put the passport right down here, right downtown. They was like, nah, you're going to have something else. You're going to have something else, a birth certificate. You need to go to this and you need to do that, and other thing. Yeah. It was no good.
Cause I just got one for Miles, and he had to. I got his original birth certificate, and they were fine with that. So I'm trying to see why
you did that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
former mayor.
No,
attorney,
I didn't do it.
and all that kind of
No.
stuff. I'm just me.
I'm saying I got it. Then I gave it to Jasmine to give to the people at the place.
Yeah, but they
didn't know. They didn't have.
And to you, editor of the paper. I mean, I'm just a guy. I'm just telling you what happened to me. What happened to Joe Citizen? That's what we talk about, Joe Citizen.
What reason did they give you for?
They didn't give me no reason. And I didn't know any better. Only thing I had to do was I had to go to the Georgia Bureau of Statistics.
Yeah.
And they mailed me. Since I was doing it, I made sure they go ahead and mail me 3 copies. They mailed me 3 copies of my birth certificate.
How long did all that take?
Took a couple of weeks.
Yeah,
took 2 or 3 weeks to get. Now, see, my point about
I don't
that
understand
being,
that,
and then I had to. Then, of course, you got to have to pay some money.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You had to pay some money to do that online and all that kind of stuff. So my point about that being, not only do the person might not have the funds or whatever, but they might not have the wherewithal. I had to have help. I was still working, and I had to have help from the admin staff and everybody. I'm trying to figure out how to navigate this online, this online, Georgia Bureau of Statistics. So, and my point. So a lot of people to do that to vote. I was trying to get a passport.
They're not going to do it.
They're going to say, what? I'm not doing that.
It is meant to be. It is meant to be a big hurdle for people to register
and
to vote.
And it will discourage a lot of people.
If you can't register to vote, you can't vote.
And it's going to disproportionately affect poor people and people of color.
Yeah, that's what they're counting on.
And that's the goal.
And, it's also going to affect a lot of GOP voters, but particularly in rural areas, for the kind of the same reasons. People with limited means or with limited access, because it takes 2 things that a lot of people either don't have time for or can't make the time for. It's going to take time and money to get these things done. So right now, it's, like I said, it's parked in the Senate, but it is far from dead. Trump is whipping it up because, as you said, Marsha, he's been point blank that he thinks he needs this to win.
Right.
There's a contested Senate race, 2 Republicans running against each other to compete against the Democrat, John Cornyn, who's the incumbent, and Saxton. I can't remember his first name right now. Saxton, is that right? Help me out, guys. Anyway,
can't help you out with that.
It is a very close race. Cornyn has initially said he would not get rid of the filibuster to pass this, but now he is saying he will. And what has happened? Trump is not endorsed in that race yet. And so he's putting pressure on now. Both that Saxon wants it passed anyway. So he's working on those votes. I don't think he's going to get the 60, but anything could happen. And I could tell you the view in Washington and among Republicans, they've already written off the House. It's not going to happen. What they're trying to do is save the Senate, and I believe they will go to whatever links to do that. So the Save America Act is people need to stay vigilant, work on Tom Tillis, Senator Tom Tillis. I see the time. Send him emails, call his line. The other Senator, Ted Budd, he's not going to do anything. Tillis he's retiring and has been very critical of many of the Trump administration decisions. So that's the one to work on here in North Carolina.
How long does that intro music last? Because he gonna continue to talk.
It's just 12. It's still just 12.
We want to thank everybody for tuning in. I am Marshall Pitts.
Marshall Pitts.
And Myron Pitts.
And we are
MP3.
Have a